Oh, I start saying, okay. All right, so what I'd like us to do is we went over questions 1 and 2. If you submitted them through Google Classroom, I've already done that with you. But I would like us to look at the vocabulary. I like how they've done the vocabulary in context today, which means they put it in a paragraph form. I really, really like that form of looking at vocabulary because you see its connectedness. And I think that that's a really good way for us to truly get an understanding of new words. So here we go. Our cheerleading squad blank, or so it would be our cheerleading squad rehearsed a lot in the weeks leading up to the competition, and we were certain we'd win. Although we did our best, we fell short of first place and came in second. The worst thing, though, was that the winning squad was very inconsiderate of our feelings. They laughed at us and gloated about their victory, and we were all very dejected as we climbed into the bus to go back to school. Gradually, though, the sadness subsided during the next few days as we knew that we had done our best and that our coach was very proud of us. So, sound like they were dealing with some unsportsmanlike conduct, which is really hard because we all know that when we're in a competition type scenario, we are all doing our best. So, that takes care of all of day 1. So we're moving into day 2. So we are still keeping in mind identifying cause and effect relationships in our story. So that's a big one for us. We just hit 4 of the vocabulary words. Inappropriate means not proper. It is very inappropriate to be a bad sportsman. So when you have won, you need to learn to be a gracious winner. Anguished means pained, and so that was not part of ours today. Tentatively is hesitant or carefully, and relentless is nonstop or unending. So those 4 are 4 that I'm kind of going to be listening for today to see if I can figure out a way that they've used those in a successful manner. Now, I would love for you to pick your book up to page 167. So when we stopped in the reading, Jonas had come upon his friends, and from what I gather, they're playing almost like a war game of some sort. And my evidence would be like they were hiding and they were doing the pow, 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 and sounding like bombs were going off. Those are very much like games that I've seen my own sons play when their friends have come over and when they were smaller. So that is a familiar thing for me. So the top of 167. Well, Jonas stepped back and he moved behind Asher's bike and knelt so that he was out of sight. It was a game he had often played with the other children, a game of good guys and bad guys, a harmless pastime that used up their contained energy and ended only when they all lay posed in freakish postures on the ground. He had never recognized it before as a game of war. "Attack!" The shout came from behind the small storehouse where play equipment was kept. 3 children dashed forward, their imaginary weapons in firing position. From the opposite side of the field came an opposing shout, "Counterattack!" From their hiding places, a horde of children, Jonas recognized Fiona in the group, emerged. Running in a crouched position, firing across the field, several of them stopped, grabbed their own shoulders and chest with exaggerated gestures, and pretended to be hit. They dropped to the ground and lay, suppressing giggles. Feelings surged within Jonas, and he found himself walking forward into the field. "You're hit, Jonas!" Asher yelled from behind the tree. "Pow! You're hit again!" Jonas stood alone in the center of the field. Several of the children raised their heads and looked at him uneasily. The attacking army slowed and emerged from their crouching position, and watched to see what he was doing. In his mind, Jonas saw again the face of the boy who had lain dying on a field and had begged him for water. He had a sudden choking feeling, as if it were difficult to breathe. One of the children raised an imaginary rifle and made an attempt to destroy him with a firing noise. Pew! Then they were all silent, standing awkwardly, and the only sound was the sound of Jonas's shuddering breath. He was struggling not to cry. Gradually, when nothing happened and nothing changed, the children looked at each other nervously and they went away. He heard the sounds as they righted their bicycles and began to ride down the path that led from the field. Only Asher and Fiona remained, and this is what was said. "What's wrong, Jonas? It was only a game," Fiona said. "You ruined it," Asher said in an irritated voice. "Don't play it anymore," Jonas pleaded. So we want to think about, what did Jonas just do? So what he actually did is he stops his friends from playing a game that they have played for years and years, that even he has played. But why does he do that? What is the purpose of him doing that? He does it because his new memories are telling him that war is a terrible, horrible thing, and that playing a war game is not good for them. So the effect is, we're going back to our end in mind, the effect being that Jonas wants the kids to stop playing this game. But what's the reason? What's the cause? The cause is because he knows what real war is. He knows what death is, and fields of dying men and men. He didn't talk anything about women at that time. So that is the cause and effect relationship of why he stops or wants them to stop playing the game. Let's keep going. "I'm the one who's training for assistant recreation director," Asher pointed out angrily. "Games aren't your area of expertness. It's expertise," Jonas corrected him automatically. "Whatever. You can't say what we play, even if you are going to be the new receiver." And Asher looked warily at him. "I apologize for not paying you the respect you deserve," he mumbled. "Asher," Jonas said. He was trying to speak carefully and with kindness, to say exactly what he wanted to say. "You had no way of knowing this. I didn't know it myself until recently, but it's a cruel game. In the past, there have." "I said I apologize, Jonas." Jonas sighed. It was no use. Of course, Asher couldn't understand. "I accept your apology, Asher," he said warily. "Do you want to go for a ride along the river, Jonas?" Fiona asked, biting her lip with nervousness. Jonas looked at her. She was so lovely. And for a fleeting instant, he thought he would like nothing better than to ride peacefully along the river path, laughing and talking with his gentle female friend. But he knew that such things